Hey everybody! Surprise! We're here doing something cool. Let me ask you guys something. Here's a trivia or a riddle or something. What do Wookiees and Howard Hughes have in common?
it's a good one. Are you asking us or the audience?
You.
Oh,
They can't hear the audience.
well, they both like to fly around in wooden ships.
That's
Vehicles.
right. We have a preview of a card for Star Wars Unlimited for you guys today, and we're all very excited, even those of us who just woke up from a nap.
He's talking about me.
Yeah, Fantasy Flight provided us with a card to show everybody, and I'm not going to beat around the bush anymore. Let's just take a look at it. We've got the I don't know if we have a pronunciation guide on this, but it's the Auzituck.
Yeah,
Auzituck. It's not the Auzituck. There's a U in there.
I
The
don't know.
Auzituck Liberator Gunship, which is a space unit, where we get real deep into the card text and all the features of this card. For people who don't know what this is, because one of my favorite things about card games and games that can pump out a lot of things is like, what's the lore behind this? Because I'm a big Star Wars lore fan. This ship first appeared in Star Wars Rebels. And it's made out of wood.
Yeah, because it's a Wookiee ship. It does not say that on the card, but it's for and by Wookiees.
I wonder if I don't know if we've seen too much interiors, but like, are the seats extra big? Like, would a human have trouble like piloting it?
I swear they showed it in that Darth Vader comic. I thought we saw the inside, and it was like there's like a tree inside it, and it's basically like you're in a forest. And it was like a little weird because it's not even that big of a ship either. Too is the thing you can't tell on the card, but it's like as big as the Razor Crest, basically. It's not.
Yeah, I mean,
ship.
it's very similar looking to the Razor Crest too. It's just rear mounted engines, and Razor Crest basically ripped this off. Jon Favreau, unoriginal.
It is supposed to be able to carry around 8 passengers, though, in there somewhere.
Yeah, and interestingly, this card is called the Auzituck Liberator Gunship. Everywhere else I've seen, it tends to be called the Auzituck Anti-Slaver Gunship, which, sort of the same vibe, I guess. It feels a lot like, maybe Boba Fett's starship, just changing the wording to remove the slave reference. But yeah, it's definitely like a Wookiee ship made for doing cool Wookiee stuff. Unless you're Black Chrysanthemum, then it's made for bounty hunter stuff, because that's his ship.
But he's still a Wookiee, so he still has to fly the Wookiee ship made out of wood.
I mean, if you're 8 feet tall and you go to the ship dealership and they've got all these ships there, you're gonna pick the one that has the 8-foot tall pilot seat, right?
Well, that's fair. He knows that
it's easier than like buying a custom made seat.
Maybe he inherited it from his family or something. We don't know.
Yeah.
But this is the first time it's been in like a card game, right? Like it's been in some minis games before, and it's been like in obviously like the cartoon, like you said, but like it's kind of cool to see it brought in with these other cards that are mostly like movie cards, right? So
off the top of my head, this has been in X-Wing miniatures. It's in Outer Rim Unfinished Business expansion. I'm pretty sure it's in Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Yeah, I think so.
It's probably in one of the RPG source books, the Ships and Speeders one, and I think that's probably it as far as its home in gaming.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was almost certainly in the Rise of Skywalker with the other 8 million ships somewhere in the background, right? I forget at the time. People probably made a big deal about it.
Does show up there.
Technically. Okay.
Yeah, and like non-gaming would be Rebels, and then the Vader and Afra comics, and that's about it. Should have seen it in Book of Boba Fett. Black Chrysanthemum should have flown in on that. Maybe he lost it by then. He seemed kind of down on his luck in that show, working for weird huts. Anyway, let's talk about the card, what it means for the game. Let's just go through all of the details on this card. let's start at the bottom because this is the least interesting. We'll work from least to most.
Okay.
Mark Zhang. I mean, we should credit the artist. I like the art. It's Mark Zhang. I looked him up. He's got an art station. A lot of really cool kind of spaceship
stuff.
concept art.
Very, very up your aisle, Kurt.
Yeah. So this is artstation.com/Mark Zhang. So that's cool. What does the SOR mean?
That's for Spark of Rebellion. That's the name of the set.
Oh. Okay, and then obviously
And
English.
then
What is the C then? I thought, what is
That's
the common. Okay. Anyway, that's the stuff that doesn't matter, except for Mark Zhang, which I think you should go check out his stuff because this is cool.
Yeah.
All right, Leo, walk us through you as the expert of cards.
Okay. Yeah. No. Well, it's gonna cost. It's gonna cost 4. Or I guess we should mention it's a unit. It's a space unit specifically. It's not going to interact with ground. It's going to cost 4 resources to play. It's a cunning heroism unit.
Cunning.
Yes, cunning is the yellow.
I guess that makes the most sense
in the game.
I'm looking at all the aspects. I'm like thinking, what would be the most? If you had to stick one on a Wookiee ship, it'd be cunning or aggression.
Yeah, it's kind of like
two I could think.
It's kind of outside. Like I feel like the cunning has been used for some of the kind of like neutral or non-faction units in a way. I mean,
well, it has the ambush ability, which I guess kind of fits in with the cunning.
After you play this unit, it may ready and attack an enemy unit, which is what makes me love this card already, because I don't like when you put a unit and you got to wait a whole turn to use it.
Yeah, the summoning
putting something into play exhausted. So this is for me where I go, I want to put this card down and actually get to play with it right away. I don't want to wait.
That's big, and it's basically like taking 2 actions in your one action. So you're getting like twice as much.
Yeah, it's also very similar to a card that they previewed earlier, another space unit, the Imperial Interceptor.
Because
which that one was a villainy and aggression. It costs the same, costs 4 resources, has the same amount of damage, has the same amount of attack power, which is 3. But its hit points is only 2 instead of 4, like the Auzituck. But it has an ability that when you play it, it just straight up does 3 damage to another space unit. I don't know. I like that because with ambush, you're still doing 3 damage to another space unit, but you'll also be taking damage back.
Right, because it says you can attack rather than the interceptor, which is just, hey, here's some damage that you can't, you're not shooting back. But obviously the trade-off seems to be this thing is pretty beefy with 4 hit points as opposed to the interceptor's 2 hit points.
Yeah. So there's probably some scenarios where you come out ahead on that trade. I feel like the interceptor is mostly better, but maybe there's also some times where doing an attack triggers some other combo that just doing damage wouldn't.
That's what I was going to say. There might be some stuff that triggers off your attacks and things like that.
Yeah, because they're both vehicle fighter. Yeah, interesting that they're so kind of analogous when the in-universe ships are pretty different.
Yeah.
But whereas right here, the big difference is, just the health, where Interceptor has just a better version of the ambush keyword.
I'm going to be curious to see what sort of other stuff interacts with this to, like you said, really make it the two feel different.
Yeah, and obviously the color, like the suit, will make a big difference on what decks they end up in. So it's not like they're just 100% interchangeable or something. But
right, yeah, they definitely are both like, oh, let me do aggressive stuff, but it's going to depend on the meta of what people are bringing in their space decks, because these only let you get these fun quick attacks against units, not a base. So you're not dropping it in to ambush their base. You're only going to drop it in if there's something dangerous on the other side of the table. So they're primary role is to fight other ships in space rather than going after the
Mm-hmm.
base.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
I wonder if we'll see maybe the bigger the capital ships might end up having some kind of abilities that are more effective against bases versus other
Yeah.
fighters, other units
Mm-hmm.
in the
And I
space
want to,
arena.
yeah, I want to see more things that reference other keywords. Like, is there like a capital ship that says, oh, each of your fighters in play gets +1, what is it called? Power, the damage output value?
Yep, that's power. There might
Yeah,
be. I mean,
that's
we've already
interesting.
seen 2 cards on the villainy side of things that reference the Imperial keyword. And there's also a Wing Leader that when you play it, that's a heroism space unit that when you play it, it gives 2 experience tokens to another friendly rebel unit.
2 experience tokens, because those experience token is +1/+1, right?
Yes.
That's pretty good. Yeah, and this is just vehicle fighter. It's not rebel. It's not, which makes sense because, like we said, Black Chrysanthemum flies around in this. It's a Wookiee thing, not a rebel thing. Interesting that Wookiee isn't a keyword. Just I'm used to
Yeah.
all of the other Star Wars games where Wookiee is sort of its own unique keyword. I think it's like that in Legion. It's like that in might be Imperial Assault. I'm not sure. It just feels like a Star Wars game thing that Wookiees sort of have their own keyword to synergize with each other, but
Yeah, it could have been a thing to differentiate it slightly more from the TIE Interceptor. Um,
yeah.
but
But I guess they only have so much text
yeah,
space for keywords.
Yeah.
and again, this is just a this is also just a common card. So, um, and that's kind of what's been being previewed so far has been all commons. So
It's special to me though.
yeah, so that means there's still more exciting, more interesting things to come, I think, as we get to finally start to see some of the uncommons and rare cards. It's a cool card. It breaks up some things where some people were pointing out that like all the villainous ships were flying right to left, and all the hero or like heroic ships were flying left to right.
Uh-huh.
But this one's a heroic going right to left. So
They should
Oh.
have done like bottom to top or something.
I'm weird, and I'm excited that there's going to be people who are playing this game and never played any of the other Star Wars games and probably didn't watch. They aren't the kind of Star Wars people we are, where they go, "What's this?" and then they're like, learn about a new Star Wars ship.
yeah, I think that's kind of why we wanted to open up with the lore a little bit, because yeah, if you
It's
haven't
definitely a
watched,
weird thing.
I think
Yeah.
because it shows up in what two episodes of Rebels, is it? And then yeah, like we said,
Yeah,
it's other than that, its main appearances has all just been comics. So again, this is also, I think, this is cool to show that here we're pulling stuff from more than just movies, kind of like they promised at the beginning, where they said it's going to be comic books, it's going to be TV shows, it's going to be kind of everything that they're going to use as sources for content for the game.
and it also appears multiple times in Lego Freemaker Adventures,
Hmm.
which is a great show, one of the best Star Wars shows.
That's
Is
maybe
there
all there
anything
is
else
to
to
say
say?
about it.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't think we had a
I
lot
mean
to say.
it's
Anything else to say? It's like we said, it's a nice card. It's another heroism one for the space arena that we get to see. I don't think we have anything else to say other than thanks to Fantasy Flight for giving us a chance to show off
yeah,
this card.
Thank you.
very exciting to be a part of the pre-launch preview arena or whatever. I do want to, everyone has their own opinions on things, so I would please let us know in the comments what you think about this card. Is it as cool as we think it is? Is it I don't know. It's hard to judge these cards too because we don't have the full picture, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to stop people.
Oh
So,
no,
For sure.
no, it definitely doesn't.
is this what? Put this card on a tier list for us. Is this S tier?
No, I don't. Well, I wouldn't think it's S tier. I mean, personally, like I said, I think the Interceptor is, at least from what we've seen, the Interceptor is going to be the better of the two. With those, like I said, they both cost the same, and they both will give you the ability to deal 3 damage right out the gate. But Interceptor basically does it safely. You know what I'm saying? Versus
Yeah.
the Auzituck
But if
is
you
going to
throw
have
your
to take
interceptor
damage.
down, I'm going to throw down that Auzituck and blow it up right away, and I won't. My Auzituck will be fine ish.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll still have 1 hit point left.
Cool. Well, I'm excited about the Auzituck. I can't wait to. Also, with new people being exposed to this particular piece of Star Wars that they hadn't seen before, is watching them attempt to pronounce it. Because I mean, we don't even know how to pronounce it. Maybe it's like German. It's like Auzituck.
I do think most
gotta,
Wookiee words are a lot weirder than this one, honestly. So
just call it the Aussie.
It
All
would
right,
probably just get
everybody.
shortened to like the ALG or something like that.
Oh yeah,
By playing.
gamers love acronymizing everything. It's 2 words, whatever. It's 2 letters. All right, that's gonna do it for our card preview for Star Wars Unlimited. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This has been the Jodo Cast. If you're new here, which maybe you are because you're here for the Unlimited stuff, we do all sorts of Star Wars games. We're gonna have a lot of Unlimited coverage, interviews, gameplay, all sorts of stuff in the future. We've got a few Unlimited videos already discussing things we've seen. So stick around for that. And if you just like Star Wars games in general, we got all sorts of that stuff. So thanks everybody for stopping by. Tell us what you think about the Auzituck and Star Wars Unlimited in general. Bye.
Bye.